Hey students, Ms. Russell here. I'm absent today, so I just wanted to quickly run through this lesson on theme for you because I think it's going to be really important for your summative next week. If you look through your notes, you would have noticed that theme is discussed as the very last piece in the notes that you glued in last week, okay? Theme is the life lesson. It's the central idea or the message that the author wants the reader to learn within a story, within a novel, something of that sense. Okay, it's not simply just the subject, the topic, or the main idea of a work, but it's more so like an opinion, a lesson, something that you take away from the story. In order for us to learn about the theme, we have to take a look at the protagonist and the conflict that they face. Based on the way that they deal with the conflict, the character faces some kind of change. They typically go through different character traits from the beginning to the middle to the end of a story. And in the end, they learn some kind of life lesson that we can take away also. On the right side of your screen, you're going to see some common themes in books. Now, remember that themes are not just one word. They are some kind of statement or phrase that tells you something. So, when we look at some of these, and I know they're a little bit blurry, so I'm going to read through them for you, okay? If we're looking at acceptance, that's the lesson that is learned. We can't simply say that it's just acceptance. So, if a story has acceptance, the theme of that would be that these kinds of books have characters who respect and accept others' differences and beliefs. Jumping down to honesty. If a character is dealing with some kind of internal conflict where they have to make a decision about telling the truth or giving a lie, okay, those characters typically come out with a theme of finding that it's best to always tell the truth. This PowerPoint is also posted in Google Classroom if you wanted to go back and take a look at more of those common themes in books. Let's watch this quick video that talks some more about theme.
Theme. But what is theme? Theme is the lesson the author wants us to learn from the story. Themes tell us what we should or should not do to ensure happiness and success in our own lives. But how do we find this elusive theme? Well, observe what the characters in a story say and do. Pay very, very close attention. And afterwards, ask yourself, what were the consequences of those actions? Some consequences are good, and some consequences are bad. That will lead you towards the theme of the story. So let's see an example using a familiar fairy tale. But first, a few ground rules about theme. Themes are a complete sentence, always, never with just one word. And themes never contain character names, not ever. A theme is true for everyone. Young and old, rich or poor, black or white, doesn't matter. If it doesn't, it's not truly a theme. But back to Cinderella. So let's look at this story first. Let's get started. We have a beautiful girl, sweet, charming, but being treated like a slave. We have a stepmother and stepsisters. All three very, very wicked. Very wicked. We have a prince. Yowza. We have a ball that the beautiful girl wants to go to. We have the wicked stepmother and stepsisters trying to stop her at every turn. We have a fairy godmother. Ultimate hookup. See? So Cinderella gets to go to the ball and she meets the prince. Love at first sight. Beautiful thing. She has to run away at midnight because everything's going to become unmagicked and she leaves behind her glass slipper. The wicked stepmother tries to stop her from trying on the glass slipper and preventing her from becoming the actual wife of the prince. Surprise, surprise, it doesn't work. And when it's all said and done, Cinderella and the prince live happily ever after. Seems pretty simple, right? Wrong! Cinderella has lots of themes. I mean, they're all throughout the movie itself. Let's start with nothing is impossible with teamwork. It's a complete sentence, it can apply to anyone in any situation, and it contains no character name. Plus, I can back up this theme. In the movie, Cinderella's little mice friends and bird friends actually hook up together. to make her a dress so she can go to the ball. I mean, they're cutting with scissors, the little bluebirds are flying around, it's just teamwork out the wazoo. And the consequence is that a beautiful dress is made at the end. Nothing is impossible with teamwork.
So, students, I'm just going to pause here really quick because I want to touch on something, okay? Something that I've said over and over throughout this entire unit. Your claims are only as strong as your evidence, okay? So, the narrator of this video that we're looking at, she's saying that, yes, nothing is impossible with teamwork, okay? But notice that she's not just saying it. She's going back to the story and she's giving specific examples. Let's continue on.
I mean, these are singing mice. They should be able to do this. And how about true love will always win in the end? Complete sentence, no character names, and can apply in every situation. So even though the wicked stepmother and the wicked stepsisters, who by the way are complete haters, tried to stop Cinderella at every point and turn, she still ended up with her one true love. True love will always win in the end. Don't be cruel or bad things will happen to you. Definitely true, complete sentence, no character names, and can apply to anyone. Long story short, these two haters died alone, probably eaten by their cats because they were so mean to Cinderella throughout. Enough said. We could keep going, but I think you're getting the picture. Let's review. A theme is a lesson that the author wants you or us to learn from a story. Themes are always complete sentences. Themes never include character names. And a theme is true for everyone, young or old, rich or poor, black or white, tall or short, doesn't matter. If it doesn't apply to everyone, then it's not a true theme. To find a theme, observe what the characters in the story say and do. And ask yourself, what were the consequences of those actions? Were they good, ding ding, or bad? And that will lead you to the theme of the story. So the next time you find yourself reading a book, or listening to the words on a song, or watching a movie, pay very close attention to those characters. Look to see what they say and what they do. Ask yourself what are the consequences of those actions, and see if you can find the themes.
All right, so that was the end of that. I'm going to go ahead and move on. If you wanted to watch that video again, it is, the slideshow is posted in Google Classroom, so you can just pull that up, okay? All right, so let's jump into some more examples just so that we can quickly get through this. So we've talked a lot about Disney characters over the course of this unit, simply because they're great examples of characters, conflicts, and themes, okay? So, from the movie Finding Nemo, okay, what problem did Nemo have? How did he solve it? And what life lesson did Nemo learn? Oh, sorry, clicked. Okay. So when we think back to Nemo, okay, Nemo had this problem where he got sucked into he got picked up by the boat, right? He was kind of being stubborn and went to go touch the boat. And then he ended up in a dentist office in Australia. And he tried to figure out how to get back to his dad. Okay, well, the life lesson that he learned was to try over and over and over again, not stop. He was determined to get out of that tank and get back home. All right, another one in Toy Story, right? This one is character versus character. Woody versus Buzz Lightyear. Okay, they didn't like each other, but how did they solve it? Well, they needed to learn to work together in order to overcome their problems. And what life lesson did they learn by doing so? They learned that with teamwork, anything can be accomplished. All right. So, I'm not going to click this because you can go and explore this on your own. I do encourage you to do so. Okay. I'm not going to make you go back and jot down those themes in your reading journal. But again, if you would like to do so, that's definitely some good extra practice for you. And if you finish early today, then you might want to go back and relook at that also. Okay. All right. So, these are simply topics, things in stories that could become themes. However, remember, these have to become a statement. A theme is not a specific word. So I'll leave this here just for a second for you to review it. All right, and then you have this page in your notebook. On the next section of this lesson, I'm going to show you the completed version. And this goes back to that story, Raising a Star, about the girl Laura, who was a guide dog raiser. So theme kind of ties everything together. So that way you can kind of see how the character, the conflict, the setting, her traits all show and tie back to the theme. All right? So go ahead and continue to move through this form so that you can complete your lesson today. If you have any questions, just post them on Google Classroom, or you can email me also. But I will be back on Monday or Tuesday, depending on if it's an A or B day, and then I will see you then. Good luck.